Hello, everyone. We are in the middle of the Advent season. People are in the middle of Christmas shopping. And what prompted me to do this video was Dr. Venus. I have been following her on YouTube for the past few years, and I recently found out that she is also on TikTok. And she posted a video about Black folks preparing for Trump's next term by starting a business and buying black. I personally have made an effort to support Black artists and Black writers for about 10 years now. It is hard to do that because Black artists and Black writers don't have the money for large marketing campaigns, but they need the support the most because, as a writer myself, not all of us are meant to work a 9 to 5 job. I used to work for the state government and then I worked for the city government. My government jobs combined took 15 years of my life. All of them are 9 to 5 jobs, and I never felt like I truly belonged in those spaces, but I took them to survive. However, God's purpose for my life is telling stories. When I write and self publish a book, I am in a state of self actualization. When I made my short film back in September, I was in a state of self actualization. So in this video post, which I will be posting on all of my social media platforms, I am sharing with you Black artists and Black writers I feel needs the attention and the financial support. So if you are still doing your Christmas shopping, please buy black. Okay, so number one, Dr. Venus. I have said this for a few years now. I have been buying and reading books about how to get rich for 20 years now, including books by Robert Kiyosaki and Susie Orman. What ended up happening was each book gives you pieces of the puzzle, but they have helped me get out of poverty, I must admit that, and into the middle class, but I never really became rich. I never got to 100K, let alone the first million, and I cannot afford a mentor. But the best financial book out of them all for me was Dr. Venus's book, Black Woman Millionaire. So I bought the book back in 2018, and it came at a time in my life where I wanted to follow my dream of being a director. So it was published in January 2018. I bought it in May of that year, and then in November, I directed my first play on Off-Broadway. In the book, she said that money is a form of energy, and you cannot make money when you are in survival mode. So doing the inner work is hard. I am still working on it. I'm still learning as much as I can about investing. But this book is the only book I know of in which the author is focusing on helping Black women become financially wealthy. All right, so moving on to number two, and this goes back to Trump being unapologetic when it comes to nepotism. And just recently, Beyonce and Jay-Z's daughter, Blue Ivy, got a job as a voice actor in the Mufasa movie that is coming out in theaters. So if the rich can do it, I'm doing it. My sister Nadia is an artist. She has been selling art for the past 11, 12 years. You can find her on Facebook. Here is what her page looks like. If you're looking to buy art for someone during this holiday season, you can reach out to Nadia and pay a commission. I am proud of Nadia, and I don't share this story. I actually don't share stories about Nadia on social media, rarely. But I think now is the best time to share this particular one. There's a 10-year age gap between me and Nadia. So she started drawing when she was a child. So when I went off to college, Nadia gave me drawings of Mulan and Captain Shang, and I used to hang them on my bedroom door. So every year I would take Nadia with me for a weekend starting on a Friday and show her around and tell her what my college life is like. So that's 4 times I took Nadia with me to college. And because of her artwork, my classmates knew Nadia and how talented she is. And today she is a professional artist and she has built up a great portfolio. Number 3, Robin Richie. You don't even have to buy something from her. I am mentioning her because I want you to follow her on YouTube. She has hosted her own talk show for 25 plus years. Her last interview was with Trina Parks, the first African American actress in the James Bond franchise. I met her a few times in person, but we follow each other on Facebook so that we can stay in touch. But in my humble opinion, she is the light in the form of a human being. She is one of the most beautiful people I have met in my life. So please do follow her on YouTube and you'll see what I mean. Number 4, Mose Hardin. We follow each other on Facebook as well. And I think the reason why the algorithms recommended me to him was probably because I support Black artists and Black writers. When it comes to social media, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, it really gives you what you are paying attention to. So people complain how toxic social media can be, and I agree, but I get a lot of positive stuff, a lot of spiritual stuff, and the algorithms send me a lot of recipes. So Mose is a writer and a photographer based in Oklahoma. He has a podcast as well. So if you listen to podcasts, check him out. I don't usually listen to podcasts, but whenever he posts a podcast, I do try my best to, find the time to listen. And some of his podcasts are very enlightening, and I enjoy them, immensely. So you can find him on Facebook as well and reach out to him there to find out what he is selling. So the 5th person on my list is Ishmael Reed. I just found out about this writer a few months ago by accident. He published his first book back in 1969. He was a professor at UC Berkeley for 35 years until he retired in 2005. And how I found him, I went to a local bookstore, not a mainstream bookstore, but a local bookstore, and I found his plays. I bought The Haunting of Lin-Manuel Miranda and The Slave Who Loved Caviar. So The Haunting of Miranda is a play that constructively critiques Miranda's Broadway play Hamilton. And The Slave Who Loved Caviar is a play that centers around Jean-Michel Basquiat's drug addiction. So this is another person that mainstream media has ignored for the past 40 years. He has too many writings, and his plays don't get produced very often. The last time one of his plays got produced was during the pandemic. Really when most people were staying at home. So that's why I had to buy his plays on paperback. If you can read Shakespeare's plays, you can buy Ishmael Reed. Number 6, lastly, if you are not aware, I published 4 books so far. You can find them all on Amazon. My first book was The Age of the Caterpillar, a poetry collection. Then I published my play, The Charioteer of Rome, in English and Spanish. Then this year I published my first romance novel, The Song of Dreams. I do plan to write more books. I have an unpublished poetry collection among my papers, but I am not in a hurry to publish another book because I write books no one wants to read. However, I am proud of the books I have published, and I feel if I die tomorrow, if I don't live to see 2025, I feel that I wrote books that God wanted me to write. So I stand by my books. So I will be doing this again if I see more Black artists and Black writers that need support. I will do another post just like this. So until then, take care, God bless, and please buy Black.